Okay, let's just wing this. So I had some Bookers the other day, and let me pop this out of here so you'll be able to see that I've only had a little bit out of this bottle. Um, and so obviously I had just cracked it, and I poured it, and I know what to expect from Bookers for the most part. And when I first took a sip of it, my brain went, wow. And I know very well that sometimes I'll have a bourbon and it's not that great, and then later it is good, and vice versa. I have some that are great at the time, and then I drink them later and they're just not that great. So I've kind of been holding off on this until I could sit down and just do kind of a review. So anyway, let's go through what we have here. But like, let me go back here. I did when I first took a sip of it. I was, you know, again, it's Booker's, and I am a Booker's slappy, and so I knew I wasn't going to dislike it. But when I took a sip of it, I was like, damn, wow, that is really good. Um, and I've left it alone since then. I haven't looked up. Just today, I got on the internet, looked up some reviews for this is a Storyteller batch. So I looked up some reviews for it, and it looks like I'm not out of my mind. It looks like I'm gonna sit down right here and I'm gonna relive what I got the other day, and it's gonna be really good. So I gave this also I gave a sample of this to a guy that I work with. He had seen I was wearing an Elijah Craig shirt one day, and he had said, I'm definitely gonna have some bourbon when I get home, or something to that effect. And I'd asked him if he'd heard of bourbons. Oh yeah, Booker's. Yeah, hell yeah, I've heard of Booker's. Have you ever had it? No, I haven't. All right, I'm going to give you a sample of this. So noting, let me show you this bottle again real quick. Noting, there's not much out of here. A part of what's out of here is a sample that I gave to another guy. So I have had very little of this. And so I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to treat myself. Now, without boring you all, the standard for most of us who started getting into bourbon in the last, let's say, 10 years, the standard for Booker's is Country Ham. That is it. That's the one. And if I could find that again, I would, not happily, but I would pay $200 for a fifth of Country Ham and put that on my shelf, just so that when I found something new, I would have a thing to compare it to. But I think Country Ham is going to be the standard, and my brain's not going to let me think anything's better than that for quite some time. So that's my thing. So anyway, that really wasn't necessary. So we're going to go into this. Let me tell you what I got here. I'm going to go to the Booker's website and just read. I'll just give you the basic details. So it gives a color. It says our darkest and deepest amber and henna color. I'll pour this. This isn't the greatest lighting in this room, as I've said before, but I will pour this, and I'll tell you what I think of the color. The taste, it says deep and complex flavors of vanilla, nuts, and oak, and complexity in a bourbon is just glorious. Aroma, robust vanilla and caramel notes, slightly smoky, and the finish is long and full. A long and full finish is exactly what you want in a bourbon, and perfect for easygoing sipping is what this says. So the card on it is, all right, there's one right here on the webpage too. So this clocks in at 63.9, which makes it 127.8 proof. The age is 7 years, 2 months, and 29 days. And I really don't think that you need... The rest of this information on this card is really just storytelling. It's just, but what you have on every Booker's. So let's get it poured. Let me bring myself back up so I can see what I'm doing. Hi there, me. Let's get it poured, and I'll tell you what I think of it. I can tell you right off the bat that nose on that cork was less than impressive. So, all right, we got a little pour there, and that's a lot more than I usually pour for myself, but I liked it. So yeah, it is a little more brown, a little more little less golden, but all Booker's has like a, and again, lighting in here is not that great. All Booker's has a redness to it. All Booker's has an amber redness, whatever you want to call it, to it. And this one is a little more brown. And so, like it said on its web page, our darkest and deepest amber and henna color. So I'm going to buy that. Yeah, the nose is it's not that impressive. It's not bad. It's good. It's really good. But it's not. It gets better. I think this is one of the ones. A lot of people say that Booker's has a peanut to it, and I don't get it. All the stuff in the Jim Beam distillery, Jim Beam distillery bourbons, a lot of people comment that it has a peanut aroma and a peanut flavor. And I usually don't get it, but I think I'm getting it here. And I do get the vanilla and caramel there. I don't get the, what did it say on there? Smoky oak, slightly smoky on them. I gotta be honest, I'm missing that. But it has a really, it has a fruitiness in there too that I don't, you have to like be trying, you have to try to get it. You have to be really paying attention. But yeah, the vanilla, caramel, that's there for sure. And I do get the peanut that I personally do not usually get out of Booker's. So let's just get that first little sample on the tongue. That's nice. That is really nice. I've said this before, I'll say it again. You take that first sip and you get the flavor and you get it in your mouth and everything. It's just really nice. And you're liking it. And then you swallow and you get a little different taste. You don't get this all the time. But when you do, it's just so nice. It's just this little, it's subtle, right? It's not like the thing went from tasting like Canadian Club to Blanton's or something like that. That's really good. It starts off, it doesn't burn. On a 1 to 5 scale for heat, it's probably a 3. It might be 2.5. It might be right in the middle there. Not really hot. Still, you start chewing it. If you chew a little bit, Kentucky Chew. Read about Kentucky Chew. Read about chewing your bourbon. You'll see what I mean. If you chew a little bit, you get a little heat, but it's not hot. It's got a great flavor. It's got a fantastic flavor. Vanilla, yeah, a little nutty. I don't catch it a lot, but I'm looking for it, and it's there. Cinnamony. I get the cinnamon, for sure. So it's really nice. And the finish is exactly like it says. It's long and full. It's not overpowering. This is a great sipper. The problem with this, if there's a problem with this, is that it's easy to drink. This is very easy to drink. I have this problem, I shouldn't say problem, but when I was in Florida, I bought a, why can't I think of the name of it? Yeah, that's really nice. Love it. I still can't think of the name of the bourbon that I got, but I got a store pick while I was down there. It was 120 proof. It was just so easy to drink. it was just like glub glub. It was refreshing, which made you just want to continue to drink it. Now, that's nice, but it'll mess you up at 120 proof. This I would not call refreshing. It's got enough heat on it, and the finish is bold and long, but it's bold without being unbearable. Okay? Let's go at this one more time. We're going to go through the whole gambit. Nose is excellent. I've lost the peanut on it, I have to admit. Always vanilla. Booker's always has a vanilla on it. There's cinnamon there. And mouthfeel. I forgot to go in that. It's soft. It's a little thin, but not thin. I usually think thin is bad, but in this case I don't. It does coat your tongue. It coats your mouth. Really nice. Anyway, I'm 11 minutes in, and that's longer than I want to do. But I would love... It doesn't compare to Country Ham. It doesn't compare to a lot of Bookers that I have had. I will admit that. The flavor itself is fantastic because it's sweet, it's not overpowering, and it changes a little bit. It's got a really good taste, and the finish is really good too. But the mouth feels a little bland. The nose is nice, but it's not all that complex. So I can see there's a guy who said that this was his favorite Booker so far, which leads me to believe he has not had a ton of Bookers. But if you haven't had a lot of Bookers, that's a damn good place to start. Damn good place to start. All right. 12 minutes. Longer than I like. All right. See you guys all soon.